What if you could gain my 20 years of business experience in 10 minutes? Now imagine having access to insights and strategies that I've used over the years from decades of building business, acquiring companies, and navigating successful exits. Today, I'm here to share with you some of those insights that I would use and combining those with what's available now if I were to start my business over today. Stay tuned. First up, let's talk about market research. We live in the most competitive business landscape that probably has ever existed. There are thousands of competitors in almost every single field vying for the same customer base. So what it comes down to most of the time is understanding your target market. The first thing I would do is I would leverage modern AI tools to help me understand market analytics. And if I'm creating content, I would make sure that I use something like Google Trends. I would make sure that I use something like Google Analytics. Make sure that I use something like SEMrush, SEMrush, Search Engine Management, so I can see what people are searching for. By understanding what people are searching for, the needs that people have, you're going to be able to address those issues like never before, like they weren't able to in the past as thoroughly as they can today. I'm a big fan of the Clayton Christensen School of Marketing. One of the things that Clayton Christensen taught prior to his death was about understanding the job to be done if you're in a business. Part of understanding the job that needs to be done is doing three things. Number one, understanding what job your customer hires you to do. Number two, understanding what you provide as the answer to the job for what customers hire you to do. And number three, making sure that your customer has the highest level of access to be able to hire whatever you do in a simple way that allows them to be able to do it repeatably whenever they have the need. So what does that look like? That means that, for instance, if you're a barber, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to ensure that people hire you during special events, special occasions, so that you look the best. Perhaps one of the things that you'll have to do now, unlike when I started my business, is use something like Instagram to showcase people getting haircuts. Just like I just got a haircut today, you want to showcase maybe people getting haircuts, the happiness after they got the haircut. Because when you associate happiness with a person getting their haircut, what's going to happen is it's going to convey what you actually do as a barber, how you contribute to a person's life, especially during major life events. We're here for you. We take care of you. We'll make sure that you're just right so you look your best and you feel your best when you need to be at your best. That's a marketing message that people can get behind. Here's a little story about making sure that you have the right marketing analytics. I remember when I started my business years ago, over 2 decades ago, I didn't do much market research. And so when I opened it, I opened what I perceived was in an area that would fit the people who I thought possibly could want my services. But see, that wasn't good enough. I didn't dig deep enough. And I certainly didn't pull people enough to make sure that that's what they wanted and that that's where they were coming from. I never asked my current customers whether or not they came from the area that I opened my business. I never asked my current customers if they would spend the money for my business if it was located where I put it. So after about a year and a half, I was forced to close my business. And it wasn't due to any major operating error. It was more due to ignorance. So one of the things I would do today before even launching a business is ensuring that I did market research in the area. I talked to the people that lived there. I ensured that the people there could afford what I was bringing to the town in terms of a business, whatever the business is. And I would also make sure that the people who were buying my service in that area, it was a need of theirs and not just a want. It was something that they really understood, that the level of sophistication for what I was bringing was slightly higher than just introducing it to the town. You never want to be in a position where you're just introducing a product or service to an area that people aren't familiar with it, because you're not going to get the demand that you think you're going to get. The next thing I would do if I was establishing my business now is I would establish an online presence that was really strong. From day one, having a professional website and active social media channels are critical. But there's more to just being online than being online. Personal branding for consumers has never been more important than it is today. Did you know that 77% of consumers only buy from brands that they trust? That just goes to show that if people don't know, like, and trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Therefore, one of the ways that you establish trust is establishing an online presence. Especially nowadays, the first thing that people are going to do is they're going to go online, they're going to look for your website, they're going to go to social media, and they're going to look for you there. A mistake that I would avoid is trying to be on every single social media platform in order to try to just be in front of where people, or where you perceive people are going to be looking for your business. I would do research to see, is there a platform in the area that you're trying to open your business that people prefer, and I would master that platform. Instead of trying to be good at 5 different platforms, or I should say be average at 5 different platforms, I would seek to be really, really good at one. If you're like me, you probably are a private person who hates being on social media, but you understand that it's a necessary evil to get things done, especially now in modern times. And that's because this new age of consumer want to build trust and a relationship with the person that they're going to do business with before they even come in. Personality plays a huge part in what we do nowadays. And I can tell you from experience that it's been tough sledding for me to get involved in social media. But once you get into a routine of making content and you speak from your experience and what you know, and you're genuine, then people are going to connect with you. They're not going to connect with the faceless person down the street who they don't see before they come in. They want to see a face with the name, and they want to be able to trust you. Know, like, and trust factor is a huge factor in building a modern day business. I would also invest from the very beginning in SEO to ensure that I can be found when people are searching for my product or service. I would ensure that when people are looking for what I offer, that I'm available to raise my hand electronically so that they can choose me, or at least I can be in the conversation. Remember, if you're not there raising your hand as a solution to a problem that a person has, then you don't exist, and you want to exist. Believe me. When it comes to products and services, innovation is the key. I'd focus on creating solutions when it comes to addressing problems in a unique way. Remember that a lot of the issues that people have today need to be solved in more unique ways as modern times progress, as opposed to whether or not there's a solution for it. There's a solution for almost everything now, but everything that there's a solution for aren't necessarily presented in a unique way. If I and you have the same kind of business, but they're a block apart, and I have a special program that addresses a special need for a special audience, then the person who perceives themselves to be in that special audience is going to choose me 9 out of 10 times before they choose you down the street. I want to address one thing though. You want to make sure that you're not trying to be so unique that you end up keeping yourself out of the mix for being able to provide something to the market. There's absolutely nothing wrong with buying a boring business. And as a first entry into the business world, one of the things I might consider right now, if I was just starting right now, is actually buying a business from someone that was already cash flowing, as opposed to just trying to start mine from the ground up. Why not start in the middle or 3/4 of the way? If someone's already generating, if the numbers are good and you can service debt if you need to, if you get a cash to buy the business and you have a loan that you have to service, if you can cover the debt and you can make a profit and more than you're making at your job, and you can just come right into buying a business, that's something I would consider as well. Think about it this way. As opposed to having some kind of flashy business that gets a lot of pomp and circumstance on social media, if you can have a boring business like a laundromat or a dry cleaner or a car wash or a power washing business, something that people don't consider as sexy a business as, for instance, racing car repair, then you're going to be way better at being able to generate cash on a regular basis. And you know what? You don't have to worry about the little nuances of having such a special niche that you don't have customers for it. Or if that customer group goes away, then what are you going to do? If you niche down so far that you have a very, very tight circle of people who actually would consume your product or service, and you can't find any other customers, you're out of business. So a boring business, for instance, a laundromat in a college town where you know that there is something like 150,000 students in the college town, and they all rent because they're going to be moving on, going back home or going back to wherever they come from after the school year is over. And you have a laundromat business. Guess what? They need to have clean clothes. They need to make sure that they wash their clothes. And so your boring business is going to churn cash at a rate that you've never seen. It's going to be bathing in cash. And it's a very simple solution to a very common problem. It's not sexy, but it just works. Stick around, because next I'm going to share my exclusive tip on networking that will catapult your business just like it did mine. And you're not going to want to miss the technology tools that I'll introduce later that drastically will reduce your workload and improve your efficiency. I want to just talk about, for a brief second, about the courses that I've built. I've built 7 courses for less than $60 to help you run your business. I know that there are so many online coaches out there who promise you 25x, 10x, 5x, 9x returns in 30, 60, 90 days. But the truth is that a lot of those courses are like fast food. I offer the opportunity for you to build skill acquisition while also building a stable business that can return money and cash for you in the long term. How do you do that? Very simple. Blocking and tackling. My courses allow you to be able to, for less than $60, learn how to build a strong mission statement, learn how to understand your numbers in your business so that you can make decisions about how you should push in a daily way to increase your sales, to master your closing, and to ensure where you need to put pressure in your business to be successful. I also have a course about how to build systems and processes in your business. If you're a small business owner and you're looking for ways and guidance on how you can build systems and processes for less than $60, you can take advantage of my course, the link of which is in the description of this video. So take advantage of it. Back to the video. Networking cannot be overlooked. It's so important to build good business relationships within your industry. One of the main things I would do, which I didn't do at the very beginning, is I would ensure that every year I was going to at least 2 industry events where I could talk to people who were at least 1 to 2 stages ahead of me in business, like further along, and they've done what I'm trying to do. The second thing I would do is I would join a local networking group so I can be in the same area as other professionals who might have similar interests to the sphere of a product or service business that I have, but don't directly compete for the same customers as mine, because then we can refer back and forth. Networking is a crucial part of business, and it doesn't matter how much technology we have, you are not going to be able to build any business into the millions of dollars range without having a strong network of people that you can call on so that you can make sure that you're having help to build your customer base. Networking is critically important. But Micah, I'm too embarrassed or I'm too shy to network. Well, guess what? No one's going to put money in your business like you. No one is going to sell your business like you are, and no one's going to talk about it like you do. There's 2 ways that you can get over your shyness of networking. Number 1, you can bring in a partner into your business who actually is a better front person than you and does well with explaining to other people and actually being in a room with other people and demonstrating the effectiveness of what you do. Partnering with someone who has a more extroverted personality can help launch your business while you stay in the background and run everything that's important to you. The second thing I would do is I would frankly just get over it. It's part of business. I don't know what to tell you. You have to be the one that sells your business. You can't rely on other people to sell it for you. It's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but concentrate on just one person at networking events. Introduce yourself to one person as opposed to trying to go and speak to 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Just go after 1 or 2 people, and that's going to be a game changer for you. And finally, the last thing I would do is I would embrace technology. It is so important for you to make sure that you have a customer relationship management tool. Customer relationship management tools, or CRMs, allow you to be able to leverage technology and to actually be able to communicate with your customers, provide them with regular updates, provide them with a way to pay you, to provide them with a way to schedule your product, a product, for instance, demonstration, or a service call, or whatever the case is that you have in your business where you interact with them, where they need to schedule. A CRM also helps you to stay in communication with your customer. CRM systems are something that I didn't use from the beginning, but I would use from the very beginning today. CRM tools can help launch you into the stratosphere when it comes to doing business with your customers and engaging them. It keeps them buying, it keeps them referring. They're a great way to also help create structures and organizational efficiency to help you, for instance, if you need to make sure that you can run reports on how many people are using your business or how much products you've sold in the last months. What are your slow months? When does most of the money come in? What kinds of products do people buy more of? What kinds of products or services do they buy less of? How can they, for instance, write reviews with you? CRMs are very intuitive. They've been thought over a lot over the last few years, and they've been improved dramatically. And with the amount of CRM tools out there, it's so important right now. They've gotten so much better than they ever have before. I actually did a podcast interview with Method CRM. If you click on this link right here, it will take you to the interview I did, because I go into the benefits of creating proper workflows with the CEO of Method CRM so that he talked about how CRMs have been a game changer and have added 6 or 7 figures to the bottom lines of the companies that he's actually created a CRM for. So take a look at that video. Now, are you thinking about starting a business? Do you have plans to adapt an existing business? My question is, what would you do differently? If you're already a business owner, write down in the comment section. I want to hear from you what you would do differently right now and how you would structure your business. And what are some of the things, for instance, some of the lessons learned that you actually have from going through? I appreciate you watching the video and look for ways to continue to improve your business. Don't just stay stagnant. I want you to continue to grow, continue to push yourself, continue to be better in business, acquire skills. I want you to be the best version of your business self that you can be. Now, the next video that you're going to see coming up is going to teach you how you can grow your business to the next level, how you can scale it. So don't go away. Watch this next video. I'll talk to you soon.